Assalamualaikum and good day. DQS559 Professional Practice. I'm Dr. Asma Alia. Muhammad Buhari will be guiding you for a topic entitled Employers, Contractors and Site Agents Obligations. This video will be divided into 3 parts, and part 1 is about employers' obligations. The employer. The term employer is used to refer to the building owner, the person or organization which commission building works and enter into contract with the building contractors. The employer pays the contractor for the construction works. The main functions of the employer are to commission the works, which mean triggering and executing the works, finance the project from the employer's own fund or from borrowings, own and use the building for their own use or the third party, as what we call as end users, and making the ultimate decision over all facets of the project, including type, size, site, cost, and time. The obligation of employer divided into 2: implied obligations or indirect requirement, naturally from the agreements. For example, the employer must not obstruct the contractor in the performance of the work. So in the case of Merton versus Stanley Hughes Leach Limited 1985, the implied obligation of the employer under a building contract is not to hinder the contractor effort to complete the work and to cooperate with the contractors. Express obligations. The employer has obligation prior to the award of the contract and further obligation under the contract. Express obligation can be referred to any terms that is clearly stipulated in the contract, mentioned and agreed by both parties at the time the contract is made. So initial obligations of the employer prior to the award of the contract. Here are some examples. The employer obligations under the contract include the appointment of architect, the timely supply of documentation to the builder, the supply of instruction as to carrying out the works, ensuring the works where employer has to take out insurance as per conditions, not to interfere with the contractor's progress of work, to permit the contractor to complete the whole of the works. Next will be the payment obligations of the employer. The form of contract, among other things, provide for how the contractor will be paid, of the amount due, when payment will be made. Payment is the primary obligations where employer must pay the contractor for the work done. The employer usually makes payment to the contractor as the work progresses. Contract Act 1950 stated that payment is a consideration to contract, an essential element of a valid contract. All the standard forms provide for interim certificate to be issued by the architect or superintending officer before payment is made. For example, in the case of Pembinaan Leo Tek Choi Sdn Bhd versus Dr. Lilas Medical Center Sdn Bhd, using PEM form of contract, it was held that employer cannot refuse to pay the amount stated in the interim certificate issued, which has included some defective work. The measures open to the employer are as follows, which is to request the architect to make appropriate adjustment in the certificate. If the architect refuses to comply with the request, it can be referred to the arbitrations, or the employer can sue the architect. Employer responsibility. There may be situations in which employer incurs liability when the project proved to be unexpectedly difficult and expensive to carry out. money, time, and quality is the main gist of a project. So the question is why the project can be more expensive and difficult. There may be a negligent misstatement by employer or his design team. For example, in this case of Brian versus Birmingham Hospital, 1938. So in this case, the standard method of measurement which a contract bills were prepared were practical that the nature of soil be described and excavation in rock will be given separately. The architect knew the presence of rock, but the BQ and the plan did not refer to it. So in this case, the contractor was entitled for additional payment due to that negligent misstatement. That's all for part 1, Employers' Obligations. See you for part 2, Contractors' Obligation. Thank you. Please, if you have any question, you can contact me at asmaalia@uitm.edu.my.